Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
Yeah. It worked, doesn't it?
Just hearing that music puts me in a better mood.
Yeah. I wanted to say I was open this. Hail, everybody. Howdy. Welcome to Where No Man Wants to Go Reviews, where myself, Jed, and when Brad joins us next week, because it was Brad's birthday. He's off celebrating his birthday. Well, after watching this garbage. How's that for a birthday present, huh? How's that birthday present? At least my birthday happened last week before this shit happened. Anyway, so hail everybody, howdy, welcome to Where No Man Wants to Go Reviews, where myself, Jed, and Brad, when he's here, we will be doing what we did with Doctor Who Cares reviews, except instead of Dermy, we got Brad, so we kind of upgraded a little bit.
Just a bit, yeah.
Don't worry. Dermy might make an appearance because he wants to suffer this, even though he has no idea what's going on with Star Trek. He kind of wants to watch. He wants to do that normie watch thing where he doesn't know and see if he has the same insane reactions we do. And boy, do we have the same reactions. We have got some fun for you guys here today. Jed, are all your brains intact after watching these 2 episodes? Because mine barely are.
The few hamsters on the wheel left running in my mind all committed suicide while watching this. It's over. It killed every last brain cell I had. This thing is abominable.
It's awful.
And
it's
I know
awful.
we talk about this every time new comes out, but I would legitimately rather watch Rings of Power than this. I at least laughed through some of the shit.
Okay.
This is just soul crushing.
I know there is something darkly amusing about how bad Rings of Power is. This show, when you're watching this and you think, my God, they really wrote this, or they really put that in there, and it's so wrong and it's so bad. I mean, all right, everybody, whether you're watching this now, watch the replay, if you've watched my videos, you kind of know there are certain things that we're going to repeatedly harp on. For me, it's one of the things is the writing, Jed, the writing in this. It's literally 21st century, 20th century, even some points too, on the street word lingo.
There's black people. What's the actual politically correct term for jive?
Jive is fine. Oh, hell no!
There was a lot of that, and it started early. Like, yo, you dead, bro? Are you alive? Are you alive or dead, bro? It's like he's just sitting there where you had him sit down. What are you talking about?
I know. My favorite, one of my favorites is when Betazoid Girl, titless Betazoid Girl, who I call Tooth. All right, if you watch my reviews, you know I've already given nicknames to everybody. And Jed has his own nicknames already for these people, because we're going to be damned if we're going to know, except for Caleb, who is just Caleb. I have no nickname for him because that one's right away. The first name you heard is the one that stuck. Everything else is superfluous and deserves nicknames. Because, all right, what do you call the fat hologram chick? What do you call her?
I don't really have a nickname for her.
Oh,
the kids just don't register in my mind. I'm focused on the adults.
When she introduced herself to the doctor and she said, I'm Sam, and she said what Sam stood for. I said, oh, you know what Sam stands for? Supremely annoying manatee. That's what I call her. She's supremely annoying manatee. And I call the Betazoid chick, I call her Tooth because she has the thing on her tooth. I call
the tiny gem.
Yeah, which is made up. That doesn't exist. That was made up.
Of course.
I call the other dude who's his rival. I just because he says bitch so much, I call him bitch. Because he likes to say the word bitch, and he's a bitch. And Caleb is Caleb. I call Holly Hunter Captain Holly Hunter because that's what she is, Captain Holly Hunter. I call the Jem'Hadar Klingon bitch. I call her gym teacher because she is gym teacher.
That one stuck. I started using gym teacher as well.
She's gym teacher. The doctor, Picardo is the doctor. That one's easy. I call the other love interest. I know I believe her name is Genesis. I just call her the Admiral's daughter because she said I'm an Admiral's daughter. That's how I remember. And those are my and I call Oded Fair Admiral Oded Fair because he's Oded Fair to me. He's not anything else in this. So he's Admiral Oded Fair. So that's how I get through this. I'm not going to bother remembering their names. But
I've been trying to come up with one for the Klingon specifically because the whole do no harm Klingon.
I call him pacifist Klingon.
Yeah, I was contemplating just calling him Gandhi or something like that, but nothing was really fitting.
Who programs a hogger with autism? I know Brad. Brad is not here. Brad cannot join us. I'll do my best to voice the proper time what he wants you to say. There's that, and also, and then there's I ate my comm badge.
There's major tism in this show,
and you're there with me. She is the tism representation. Totally,
100%, 100%. And when I watched these 2 episodes, the thing I kept thinking about was Wesley Crusher. I'm not a huge fan of Wesley. I don't think he's a great character or anything like that. But he had such a battle to qualify for Starfleet Academy. He was on the flagship serving as an acting ensign for years with hands-on experience that nobody else had.
Love or hate him, he is a genius.
3 years.
And love or hate him, he is a genius.
But it took him, 2-3 attempts? And it didn't even actually happen. Yeah.
And now remember though, this is all right. So hail out of the chat. You guys are already lively. We love it. Keep talking. Have fun with us because we got to have fun with this. It's the only way we're going to survive. This thing is
for real
a nightmare. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the episodes. If you watch Doctor Who Cares reviews with us, we go through it. We stop. We comment. We have meltdowns if necessary, and we roll on until we reach the end. And unfortunately, we won't be able to really do what we do with Who Cares reviews and have any sort of viewership predictions.
We can a little bit. I have some stuff pulled up.
A little bit. But we unlike other stuff, it takes a little time before some stuff like what was that? What's that online one called? I just forgot. I haven't used it in so long. What's it called?
What are you talking about? The Nelsons?
No, the other one for the Nielsen's, the other one we use, the one that usually posts.
Samba.
Thank you. It's been so long since we've done something with ratings, I have forgotten. Nielsen's we can do, at least for this season 1. That'll be
when
great
it comes
one.
out, it'll be another month.
But we got a month for that. We'll be halfway through this before we get the Nielsen's for this double episode premiere, which I will predict will be dog shit. I'm going to predict they're going to be utter dog shit. So here we go. We're going to roll through it, and we're going to talk about it. Now, we might skip around a little bit due to conversations. If you follow Jed and I, we do these types of review sessions. We jump around a little bit, but it's how we survive. So sit back, relax, hit those like buttons, and enjoy it. If you are new here, welcome. Some new people have found these channels for our review, so we hope you're going to have a good time today. Stick around. Okay, so like you said, the chat's talking about too, it's not easy to get into real Starfleet Academy. This is not real Starfleet Academy. This is them scraping the bottom of the barrel for people. And there's at one point, and this is where we're going to jump ahead a bit. There's one point in episode 2 where Betazoid President Trump, because that's what he is. Betazoid President Trump is trying to find any reason to break up negotiations. And he's talking about the rigorous application system for Starfleet Academy. And that is when it hit me.
Yep.
Because that was the episode where we got a little more over where I swallowed my comm badge has to have the TISM. Because they're basing everything on tests, not performances, not a life experience, numbers, based tests. And the only way she passed is the TISM.
Mm-hmm.
Only way.
Yeah, the only qualifications that he mentions is a test and 6 weeks of psychological screening, which Caleb got excused from.
Yeah.
What about fitness tests? What about
different lot of fatties? Fatties.
Dude, gym teacher, as you call her, she's yelling at them to be fit, run faster, do more push-ups and whatnot. I don't believe she's done any push-ups in her life.
I mean, we've seen fat Klingons, but they're usually I'm not bartenders. They're usually food stall tenders on DS9. Usually, other than that, we don't see fat Klingons.
They're
or
non-warriors, or they're tank types. They're tank types.
Yeah. Or you're Kempek and you're dying. You're on your death chair. Yeah.
Old, fat, and lazy.
Old, fat, and lazy, and dying. But most Klingons, you're fit. And Jem'Hadar, fat ain't in their vocabulary. It ain't a word programmed to them by the founders.
Engineered.
Yeah. And so we're gonna. I guess we'll touch on it now. Gym teacher. I don't know. She lists her name and her lineage. It doesn't fucking matter. She shouldn't exist. She shouldn't exist. And I know there are retards out there who are pushing the "it's been 900 years" argument. There was no evidence in DS9 that the Jem'Hadar had dicks and balls, because she says her father was the Jem'Hadar, her mother was the Klingon. Mm-hmm. So we don't know if Jem'Hadar even go to the bathroom. We don't. The founders provide the white is all they need. Ketracel white is all they essentially need.
And how is that compatible with a biological organism? How does Ketracel white and Klingon blood?
I don't know, but she does bleed white. We saw. I didn't want to comment on that too heavily. I kind of let that one slide, but she bleeds white, which is my theory is they think her blood is Ketracel white in Kurzman Trek. I think that's what they think.
They clearly did a lot of Wikipedia or AI research for the lore, because there's that. It's like, oh, Jem'Hadar have white blood? Okay, give her white blood. Or the Bajor, or I fucking did
which one? The Betazoids.
The Betazoids. I did it in my entire review. I said Bajorans every single time. I had to go back and fix it. But the Betazoids being empathic, they just looked at Deanna Troi and they're like, oh, Deanna Troi, she's empathic, so they're all empathic.
Because she's a half-breed. Mm-hmm. Deanna's a half-breed. That she's only half Betazoid, which means she only has essentially half the powers. She has a limit, but she's still in the right eyes. Brittany the Klingon. That might actually be a good one. Brittany the Klingon.
Brittany the Klingon.
He's got a highlight. He's got a red highlight dread. Ridiculous.
Close eyes. It's not just that there are fat people joining Starfleet, because that's one thing. You see the fat people at basic training in real life.
Yeah.
The gym teacher, the first officer, is running those classes.
She will be.
Classes.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. But it's the fact that they're active people in Starfleet. I don't believe she can run back and forth, like he's saying, from either end of the arena.
Yeah,
I don't believe she can run.
Well, they don't have to, because they just do what they do in Cursor Check. They just teleport from room to room.
Oh yeah, they have instant teleporters.
Yeah, which
the bigger problem is active people still being fat.
Yeah. But so I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves talking about these characters, but it's so mind numbing to look at this and realize these are what they designed. I mean, let's put a pin in the Bajorans. We'll come now. I'm doing it. Look what you did to me. Look what you did to me. The Betazoids. We'll put a pin in the Betazoids when we get to episode 2, because I had such a meltdown in my review over that. I had to go like this and scream into my hands to muffle it, because while talking about it, I reached such levels of rage, because it pissed me off. It pissed me off. Anyway, all right, so here we are, episode 1. The whole thing essentially starts. Its prologue is about Caleb and his mom, Tatiana Maslany, who I just call She-Hulk the entire time.
I didn't even notice that was her until you mentioned it.
Yeah, it's She-Hulk. I just call her She-Hulk because that's what she is now. She's She-Hulk. She's not anything else. No matter whatever she did before, she is She-Hulk. Don't care. So his mom is She-Hulk, and Paul Giamatti's villain, he's a clown.
Is he going to be the season villain, or is he mostly done?
I think he's a season villain.
I think so.
How that works, I don't know. If they don't leave Earth, how is he a villain if they don't leave Earth?
Oh, they're going to leave Earth. The Athena takes off again, and they go somewhere for retarded reasons, probably. Because you shouldn't leave with the whole school like that.
You shouldn't bring cadets into dangerous situations.
Yes, especially not day one cadets. Like if they're, I don't know, the equivalent of a senior at Starfleet Academy. Yeah, start introducing them, internship, stuff like that, in controlled environments and spread out. Not a ship that's primarily manned by cadets. But with Paul Giamatti, in the first episode, we see him utterly defeated, his ship blown up, and abandoned in an escape pod.
A conveniently placed escape pod in that
very
moment.
Convenient.
Very
like,
convenient.
Why is the fight happening right next to there?
Yeah.
But you lose all gravitas as a villain, all threat factor, if you get immediately defeated by a 15-year-old or however old.
He's 21. Caleb is 21.
Is he 21? Oh,
he's 21.
They all seem like teenagers.
Well, supremely annoying Manatee is programmed to be 17, even though she's only 4 months old.
Jesus. But yeah, their ages don't make any sense. They act like 12-year-olds. But yeah, the 21-year-old, he's easily defeated by a 21-year-old who's better than every officer aboard the starship. And programmable matter, I don't know if that's a Discovery thing, but programmable matter kind of
it has to be.
It kind of pisses me off.
And Brad the lawyer makes us know, lets us know that the charge conviction for Caleb's mom was completely proper. Theft where someone is killed becomes felony murder. I used to charge this when I was a prosecutor. See, this is great. Brad knows good shit he can add to this. So Brad will be adding.
It's not just like theft; it's armed robbery. They talk about how Paul Giamatti and Tatiana Maslany, they assault this ship, take the people hostage to steal the food.
Jed, she needed food.
Are food replicators not a thing anymore? And no, warp drives are not what are required for food replicators. So the burn doesn't explain that.
Yeah, warp drive. Well, I guess all the food replicators were next to warp drives around the galaxy when it all exploded. I mean, food replicators is a widespread tech across everything. All four quadrants have food replicators. They do.
They're abundant, especially by this point. They're already abundant in TNG and Deep Space Nine. This is what, 800, 900 years later?
TNG,
they're going to be fucking everywhere.
TNG, I think they're still working out the kinks in season 1 and 2 of TNG because there's talk about how, these things aren't quite working right. Of course, by the time you get to DS9, replimats, all this kind of stuff, and it's everything. It's everything, everywhere. You have even something. You have even things called commercial replicators, which they bring down for building new settlements and stuff like that, like industrial size replicators. So it's
and by that point, the Federation has given those out like candy. They're very humanitarian focused.
Yeah,
but this is an immoral Federation filled with immoral people. Like Holly Hunter, she's like, there is no reasonable justification ever to separate a parent from a child.
Yes,
apparently,
there is.
Felony murder, like Duke Devil is talking about, isn't enough. So what there has to be something. If you come across a serial killer and they have a kid, it's like, well, we were going to arrest you for being a serial killer, but you have a kid. So is that just the get out of jail free card?
When Paul Giamatti gives this little speech at the beginning, I did this stuff because it's so cruel to make a mother and child. It's not even a good cheesy villain speech. It's just lame. And he's not a threatening villain.
God, no.
No. I mean, listen, Andreas Kostoulis, who played Tomalak in TNG, 9 times out of the 10 we see him, he's on a viewer, way more intimidating. Way more intimidating.
Bring back the viewer. I hate the hologram projected into the bridge, especially how Holly Hunter responds to everything. She disrespects that captain's chair at every opportunity. The way she's sitting in it like a retarded person. But,
and there are people that love that out there. There are people going, oh, it's so cool how she's curled up in it like a cat. Isn't that cool and sweet? No.
And she's walking around barefoot around the cafeteria. She is entirely unprofessional.
All right. This is something
she's unqualified. She's been out of Starfleet for 15 fucking years. And within 24 hours, she memorizes her bridge crew, memorizes the curriculum enough to use it against Paul Giamatti, and goes and rescues Caleb from a distant prison,
but Jed,
outside of Federation space.
She's 422 years old. That's all I got. That's all I got. She's 420. She's some alien species that's long lived that I've never heard of.
Well, all of the people from Discovery, they're saying that they're old. Like Tig Notaro, they mentioned that she
time traveled 1,000 years.
So is the time travel? I thought Holly Hunter was from Discovery.
No, she's not. No. Holly Hunter's a brand new character they created for this alone. Sure, her species is long-lived. She's lived for 422 years. She was in Starfleet back in the good old days, which is still falls into Kurtzman Trek days because real Star Trek, the future kind of stops short at a little after Nemesis. We don't, and if you want to say Picard season 3, where Terry Matalas sort of gave us what it should be like.
A lot of Kurtzman-Trek
for this, and so it does. So it all kind of doesn't line up. That's kind of the problem. And Brad, this is one of the things Brad wants me to make sure I mentioned, because he's right in line with me. What this show does with Captain Holly Hunter especially, it shows how Kurtzman-Trek has no discipline in Starfleet. There's no command authority, nothing. The captain's chair is a symbol of authority and command. It was something Riker aspired to for years. Am I ready to be in the same chair that Picard is in?
And anytime someone had to take the con or take command briefly,
you go sit in it.
You go sit in it, but when it's the first time you do it, there's a moment of like when Geordi has to do it for the first time in season 2, I believe it was. He just takes a moment. And he's like, "I'm sitting in this chair. Oh my god,
the big chair means something." But no, she gets to
fucking respect it.
Tiny little.
I was actually in the military, and it was the fucking Air Force, which is laid back as shit. And even us, we would look at this, and everyone would get court-martialed for the type of behavior that they have. They're out of uniform all the time. There's no chain of command. She's apologizing to the cadets. It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry that gym teacher's yelling at you," and trying to get him not to be punished. She specifically said,
they go out of their way to run away from the probation he gets put on. Right away. They run from that fast.
And she specifically says, "I talk them down to community service." Not, "I think you still need to be punished. Here's what I think is
That's what we call plot armor,
it's like,
Jed. It's plot armor.
She's fully willing to let Caleb get away with anything he wants. He hacks Starfleet multiple times.
Yeah.
While
on probation. And farewell, Brad. We'll see you next week, buddy. And catch myself and Brad on Wormhole Watch. Edited versions are on his channel every Wednesday night. We have fun there. The Yamek sauce. That's a joke from that. We are not talking about Yamek sauce. No. Brad was here, maybe, but he's not here. Therefore, I can move by it. And Hitman ain't here, so I don't got to talk about it at all. Anyway. Oh, that's weird. My chat on my studio isn't working. Let me refresh my studio real quick. That's odd. I see the chat in StreamYard. I don't see it in studio. Very strange. Let me refresh this real quick. Anyway, as I was saying, there's no deference for command. Did I see these the same way they make coffee? No. I was trying to. I listen. You got to understand, I'm trying to keep track. I have like a parallel mind for this stuff. There's stuff I keep track for the review, and then there's the stuff I keep track for that I bring up that if it wasn't in the main review, I bring it up here. So it's so that there's reasons to watch it all. So I did not see the coffee. I did see. Now this got me at one point in episode 2. See, here we're jumping around. I mentioned Caleb's 21 years old, which is legal drinking age. He grabs a champagne glass off a tray, and then somebody takes it from him. But he's 21. He could drink that.
I fully believe the show thinks he's 17. They're acting like teenagers. I think they're supposed to be teenagers.
Well, in episode 1, they made it clear he was a 6-year-old boy, and then it's a 15-year time jump, which makes him 21.
That's math. I don't think they did the math. But like you said, with the hologram chick, she's programmed to be 17. I think they're all supposed to be 17, but they did the math wrong on Caleb.
Well, I guess without any sort of parental figure, maybe he's still mentally 17. I don't know. He behaves like it. Behaves like a child. They all do.
Or maybe he's just joining super late.
Who knows? All I know is, all right,
there could be a wide range of ages.
Yeah. So, all right. So back to episode 1. Like Brad said, She-Hulk deserved to get thrown in prison. But she gets sent to a Federation re-education center. It's a camp.
It's a rehabilitation. Yeah. So Holly Hunter feels bad that she has a kid that she's trying to feed. So it's like, all right, instead of giving you the punishment you deserve as being an armed robber and an accomplice to murder, I'm going to take it easy on you and you'll get visitation. But then she spends the next 15 years tortured by that decision and being, I shouldn't have given her anything. I was too easy when I was easy on her.
Yeah. And let's be honest, this may be hardened Federation during the times of the burn. If you people know what the burn is, and most of you shouldn't, you shouldn't watch it. You shouldn't watch Star Trek, Kurtzman-Trek Discovery. Essentially, an alien creature, an alien kid who had telepathic abilities, had an autistic hissy fit, and because he grew up on a planet rich with dilithium, he had a telepathic connection to dilithium, and it caused all dilithium in the galaxy, not just the alpha and beta quadrant, the entire galaxy to explode at once. Which, Jed, as you know, is a hard science space guy, doesn't work like that.
Unless it was quantumly entangled, and even with that,
but there's no evidence that dilithium is quantumly entangled.
No,
it's literally a mineral substance mined. It's a mind substance. Anyway, and then exploded, and that destroyed literally 90% of warp travel in the galaxy, which led to the Federation falling apart, and everything else falling apart led to a barbaric era where the Federation basically went isolationist with what was left and became hardened. But even with a hardened, very more militaristic Federation, it's still the Federation. And a Federation re-education camp is not a goddamn penal
going
colony.
To be a concentration camp. It's not going to be that bad.
It's not going to be
it's not like you're going to be
I always say it wrong. From Star Trek 6, the Klingon camp that Kirk and McCoy get sent to. Pentarui. It's not that where you're mining dilithium and shit like that. It's not. It's not that. It's a Federation camp. It's fucking club fed. You're gonna get walks in the park, walks in the garden. You're gonna get fed 3 hots in a cot.
You don't understand, Adam. The Federation is the villain.
I know.
Caleb's like, the Federation is the villain in my story too. Even though, why is the Federation the villain in the Princess Mulvaney's life? This is the first time even interacting with them.
Because it's not so much Federation, it's the old ways are the villain. Because, and then we get to there. Remember, the youth movement they're activists. Holly Hunter even says, I love activism in kids. She actually says that.
Love it.
Love it. Love it.
And this is very much a listen to your kid. They're actually right.
They're smarter than you. Kids are smarter than adults. That's very present in all of this.
It was very between the war between the land and the sea. Do you remember that? It's like, we should have been listening to all the time you told us climate change was bad. We should have done everything you told us to do.
Yeah.
This show is incredibly political. There is absolutely a political angle to it.
It was light in the first episode, but it came in heavy in the second episode. They turned it up. They went from a 5 to a 12 instantly.
The first episode is mainly the Dreamer references about separating
which I didn't get.
Families.
You nailed that. I missed it.
Southern border stuff. It's like, hey, illegal immigration. It's illegal. You shouldn't separate parents from kids.
Well, that was over my head.
That's what they were talking about.
I was too busy raging over the lore crap and how stupid everything looked. But you caught this. See, this is why we do this, because we all see other things that the other reviewers, panelists don't. And that's why it's good, because we all come at this stuff from different angles. Anyway, so then this is dumb. This next part is dumb, where little kid Caleb basically cons Captain Holly Hunter, steals her comm badge, and then runs out into a sandstorm and somehow survives.
And the Federation's not able to track him down, or just, hey, get in the shuttle and go grab him, or teleport out to him, or anything like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. The comm badges are magic.
And it's now everything. The comm badge does everything now, apparently.
That is a major security concern. If it's part of a 2-factor authentication system, like a biometric print and the comm badge, sure, that makes sense. But just being able to wave the comm badge that you stole.
He palmed it, hacked it, and got out of there. So apparently he's a genius. Because remember, he scored 98%.
They do show him that he's a genius.
Yeah.
But and Tatiana Maslany, while she was being dragged away, she's, don't trust them.
Don't trust them. Only trust me. Only trust She-Hulk.
Yeah, no wonder that kid's a little fucked up.
This is a thought. This is one of the things I left out of my review, and I want to say for this show, the character of Caleb and Holly Hunter would have had a better dynamic if he had gone with her and she had raised him on Bajor. If she had her, if they had a real surrogate mother-son relationship, that would be, and if he was still a little bit of a delinquent because he rebels and he always wants to, and maybe if he always maybe would escape Bajor, she'd have to go get him, bring him back, because that's where the that's why Jed keeps saying Bajoran's a little bit also.
Oh, that's not why.
Oh, it isn't. Okay, that's why I did first.
It's just. It's just because it
the
is.
the orphan camp is on Bajor.
Mhm.
And I just realized something yesterday afternoon, but I saved it for here about Captain Holly Hunter. So anyway, so I'll get to you in a second. I don't want to jump ahead. So he runs away. She quits Starfleet and goes off to run the orphanage on Bajor. Now, when we come to her on Bajor, after Caleb's reintroduction scene was just retarded. We'll just skip over that. It's just show how cool he is, guys. He bites people on the ears and they're fine. Listen,
He fights 3 mercenaries at once and wins.
Yeah.
And these are heavily armored and armed.
They're armed. Yeah, I mean, he's just badass. And what happened to inertial dampeners in Star Trek? It's just gone. Those are flying all over the place.
Was ridiculous. It was spinning above the surface for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Anyway,
gravity's a thing. Star Trek. Gravity is a thing.
Which is why they have inertial dampeners in Star Trek. I mean, it's that's super science fantasy technology, but they have it. So, Captain Holly Hunter is taking care of these kids, and you realize we see her reintroduction of her. She's giving ice cream to kids, and then when Admiral Dead Pharaoh's up, they're sharing ice cream, and she's eating the ice cream. But in episode 2, when Caleb eats some sort of spicy apple, she says, "My nerve endings are all but dead." Then how are you eating ice cream and enjoying it if you can't taste it?
Communal.
I don't know.
This is really important in this conversation about the recruitment scene. Did you notice in episode 2, I believe it was, or maybe it was episode 1 when she first took over? No, it was when she took command of Athena. Yep, when she took command of Athena. She did that broadcast out to the entire ship, and she said, "If you would have told me 24 hours ago that I would be Chancellor of Starfleet Academy, I wouldn't have believed you." So that implies that recruitment scene to taking the helm is at most 24 hours of time.
Or at least when Admiral Dead Fear goes to Bajor.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what we're dealing with here is this happens in all current modern shows that we've covered. They have no idea how quickly what travel time is. I mean, we don't even know what maximum warp speed is in this. And they mentioned it. They mentioned one point that the Discovery is out there. The Discovery has a thing called the Spore Drive, which allows it to basically fold space. Essentially, it travels in a different reality instead of using warp drive. So that's that. The Discovery can get around quickly. Means nothing. So we don't know.
She gets from Bajor to outside the Federation where Caleb's been arrested because they specifically said
they held him at that place. Yeah, so and then they go to wherever the Athena is. Did they mention where the Athena was docked when they get there?
No, but it was far enough that in universe it took a day to get to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So by their rules, it's far.
Yeah, I mean, at Warp 9, I mean, you and I did complain about this when we reviewed First Contact. We talked First Contact. The Enterprise E got to Sector 001 from the Romulan neutral zone pretty damn quickly. I mean, it's not as far. I mean, the Romulan neutral zone is not as far as the Klingon, once upon a time, the Klingon neutral zone, but it still got there pretty quickly for story purposes. But that was a movie, and that was the Enterprise E, the most advanced ship in the fleet at that point. So maybe they could get up to really high, close to warp 10. Not quite, but close. I think we talked about it. I think Brad was even there in the chat that day. I think he said they could go like 9.8, 9.9 and get there. So it probably went there at full tilt boogie. But we don't even know what max warp speed is. They haven't mentioned it. They just said, let's go to warp. They haven't said, you notice that one time the Athena was active, she didn't say, she didn't have any sort of go to this warp. Just say, go to warp. Go to warp. Becky Lynch, it's your choice, Becky Lynch. It's your choice. Or maybe the ensign. I don't know. Yeah.
So she does all of that in 24 hours, though, is my point. She travels from Bajor to prison to the Athena. And in that time as well, she memorizes the files of all her bridge crew.
You see her going over them.
Has names for the robots.
She names the robots, yeah.
She knows the coursework of Starfleet Academy well enough to pick one to use against Paul Giamatti.
How did she
do that in 24 hours?
She's not human, Jed. That's her answer. She's not human. She's a long-lived species. Her
Why
brain
does
works differently.
sci-fi always show humans as being the shittest species out there, just in like terms of
I
intelligence,
don't.
strength?
I don't, because I mean, listen, I'm of the belief that the human body, the human genetic makeup in fantasy and science fiction is one of the most malleable genetic makeup, which is why when hybrids get created, they grow stronger because it's an easily adaptable biology. Yeah, we may be our flesh may be weak and we're beat up easily, but we adapt quickly. That's our strength. We adapt quickly. But yeah, they just make them dumb. Make them dumb. And
Humans are shit in pretty much every science fiction fantasy show out there. It's not just this, but yeah, a lot of people just like, yeah, they're the worst. Yeah, everyone's stronger.
Because and this is Star Trek, so a lot of the times, especially in the Alpha Quadrant, where that one species jizzed into everybody's primordial makeup in that one episode of TNG, they all look very humanoid because of that. But we're now at a point where 90% of the species being shown in Curse Trek, they're not OG Star Trek aliens. Sorry, that's the same argument I'll use in different franchises.
Yeah. They're new aliens created, and they're all variations of human, even less variation. Like Holly Hunter looks exactly like a human, not even a new nose, not even new ears, nothing. And new irises, and they get the Betazoid eyes wrong.
So
everything just looks like a human exactly. It's like, yeah, they're from a
even Bitch. He's a human until he has to go walk in vacuum, and then he can transform.
Oh, very convenient space-proof alien who can talk in space.
Yeah,
I could buy the communicator where he could hear things using vibrations. All right, I'll accept that. Perpetuating through vibration, that makes sense. But him talking back, I just couldn't accept.
Guy, you're right. The less you use of stuff created by guys like Ron D. Moore and Ira Stephen Bear, who are the guys behind TNG and then DS9, the less you probably have to pay them royalties. I mean, stuff like Vulcans and Klingons, they're grandfathered in, but anything created by Ron D. Moore. I mean, did you notice in the cadet crowd, there's a Ferengi in the cadet crowd. It don't look like no Ferengi we've ever seen before. So by the 25% difference for years, the changes to Curse Trek was always the 25% difference. So you don't have to pay royalties to the people who created them. That's why they changed the Starfleet insignia. That's why they changed the uniforms. That's why they slightly alter every single alien species. That's probably why they got the Betazoids wrong. Because if you give them all their proper black eyes,
Just make your own race then and make it interesting. Star Trek's always added new races, just like you're talking about in TNG.
Remember Deanna? Remember Waxana? Read the fingers. Anyway.
Nostalgia bait has had diminishing returns for decades now.
Let's skip ahead to orientation, shall we? When they're on the Athena. Because there's a lot of useless. What we have, let's get this out of the way. We're gonna be a little faster today because we got to go through 2 episodes today. Next week we'll take it a little slower. With Brad here, we'll definitely take it slower because 3 voices take longer. But we're gonna rock it here and there because it's 2 episodes, guys. We don't want to be here 3 hours. We learned from Doctor Who Cares reviews when it's multiple episodes. We can be here too long, longer than we think we're going to be.
Oh, yeah.
And we want to get to certain points to talk about. So let's get to orientation, because anytime characters are alone, it's just bad character work. Let's just establish that now. It's bad dialogue, bad writing. This relationship between Holly Hunter and Caleb is so pathetic and wrong.
No, he's just a default douchebag.
Can
you think of any teenage drama from the last 50 years and there's a douchebag in it? It's him, and also coincidentally the fish boy. They're both the same caricatures.
They're just slightly different. And by the end of 2nd episode, they're starting to get along. The rivalries. I mean, they only have 8 episodes.
And the rivalry just didn't make sense at the beginning. Yeah. The fish boy starts bullying the Klingon for no reason.
And that is actually a right line. Who in their right mind picks a fight with a Klingon?
Especially when he is significantly larger than Fish Boy.
I'll say one thing: all the men in this are large, except for the new one introduced at the end of the 2nd episode. These are all big, masculine dudes, which is there for a purpose, so that Tig Notaro in episode 2 can emasculate them.
Dude, that might be one of my most hated scenes. Just
It's
the
terrible.
science of it was bothering me.
I know that to me the agenda metaphors were bothering me.
Yeah, those were pretty bad too.
And so we get to after she basically blackmails him into joining Starfleet. Academy. She blackmails him. You're either going to go to prison or you're going to join. And their relationship is terrible. It shouldn't even be. There is no relationship, but the show is pretending like there is, which is rough. Which is why I said it would have made more sense if he had gone with her and just been a rebellious youth for 15 years, but they still have then a connection to work with. I thought that's what it was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was going to be, but no, this is Kurtzman's trick. The writers have this much originality in them. So we get to orientation, and right away we get introduced to the gym teacher, the Klingon Jem'Hadar hybrid, who, as we've already mentioned, shouldn't exist. Here's how I put it in my review, Jed. I said, if Alex Kurtzman, who directed this first episode, by the way, he directed the first one.
He did both.
He didn't. I don't think he did the second one.
His name showed up as director when I watched it.
On the second one? Hang on, I still have it. Hang on, let me look. At the. And again, I didn't watch the credits on the second one, so maybe you're right. I kind of after dude said, "Let's build a fort," I kind of said, "That's it. I'm done. I'm done."
Yep, Alex Kurtzman.
Oh, he did direct the second one. Okay,
All right. He did both.
Okay, so he directed both episodes, and the showrunner wrote both these episodes too. This Gaia, what's her name? She wrote this shit. And she's terrible. She is awful at her job. Anyway, so Alex,
in my review, I actually got accused of being a boomer because this isn't made for you. They want to attract the Gen Z audience.
God, they're actually using it's
for Gen Zers, and you're not Gen Z, so you're not allowed to like it. Well,
no,
I am Gen Z, and I still fucking hate it.
Yeah, I'm not. I am the old man. Brad is the slightly older man. This is one of the few times in one of our panels where somebody is actually older than me. Brad is a slightly older man, and we were there when Star Trek was real.
Speaking of old men, this is an actual headline that I absolutely love right now.
All right.
Star Trek Starfleet Academy gets fewer views than old men talking about Deep Space Nine.
So they're referencing Gary. And
no.
No, Gary was the stream. Old men, what?
They're talking about Red Letter Media. So apparently Red Letter Media put out a video about Deep Space Nine.
Oh, I saw that. They did a season 1 recap.
4 times. They got 4 times the viewership that the first episode did.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see them do a DS9 season 1 video, which I didn't watch. I don't watch Red Letter Media. I'll admit
I don't either. I just kind of think that's funny. A conversation about Deep Space Nine got higher viewership.
Because real Star Trek's always going to draw interest. You're always going to want, people always want to talk about real Star Trek. Now, people are watching us because this is morbid curiosity on what we're doing with this. Also, to watch us.
This is a service, chat. We are providing a service.
Yeah, so hit those like buttons, guys. Hit those like
buttons.
Please. Please hit those like buttons if you're having a good time.
And if you want to hear good Star Trek, the Nerdgasm.
It's winning. We got one more day on that. I got to shut it down. So it looks like we're doing, but we'll talk about that at the end of the show. Okay. Anyway, so orientation, which is just we get introduced to gym teacher, like we said before, a Jem'Hadar, genetically created species by the founders. It shouldn't exist like this. It can't. It makes no sense. And as I was saying, if Alex Kurtzman had found Ira Stephen Bear and all the writers that worked on DS9, including Ron D. Moore, and said, guys, here's what I want to do with Jem'Hadar. Maybe I could buy it. That he went and talked to people who made the Jem'Hadar, but we know he didn't fucking do that.
Oh, God, no.
He's Alex Kurtzman. He does whatever the fuck he wants.
My bigger problem with her, beyond just the lore not making sense,
obnoxious
genealogy, she is so egotistical. If you notice, every single one of her lines is about herself. When she's yelling at people, she's like, "You're not as good as a Klingon or a Jem'Hadar. Oh, my heritage is so much better." And that's all she fucking talks about is me, 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 me. It's every single fucking, at least conversation, has to root back to, I'm better than everyone.
And here's the thing.
Klingon and Jem'Hadar.
Here's the thing. When she gets injured during the attack on the Athena in episode 1,
and then just comes back to life for no reason,
and gets stabbed in her gut where apparently her heart is. All right, listen. I don't remember a Jem'Hadar's heart being in their stomach. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Klingons, their hearts are up here, and Klingons. My point is, Klingons and Jem'Hadar. Getting to where I'm talking about this, two of the toughest species in Star Wars history.
Mm-hmm.
Klingons have redundant systems for everything. Just about one thing fails, another keeps it going. Great episode of Worf and TNG first brings that makes that lore, and the Jem'Hadar literally designed to be the nastiest bastards out there by the founders. Go, go, go. Don't need to eat. Don't need to sleep. They're killing machines. So you're telling me a hybrid of two of the nastiest species out there, bred for war, both of them, one by social choice, one literally by genetic design. You're telling me she gets a boo-boo in her stomach with a piece of shrapnel and it knocks her out to that extent. I've seen
she's not willing to help her students out.
Yeah. She so that whole thing is ridiculous. That shows you how ridiculous it is. They create this thing. They don't understand the monster they created. That she should be an unkillable monster.
Well, she does have super strength. They showed she hit one of the students and flew.
She hit the pacifist Klingon. It was the pacifist Klingon that she said flying across the room. Listen, Klingons are strong, not as strong as Vulcans. They're strong. Jem'Hadar is strong.
It's not super strength. Though.
Yeah, I mean,
it wouldn't have flown him across the room.
Exactly.
It would have knocked him down easily.
Here's the thing: if you watch DS9, you see there's going to be a lot of Klingon, Jem'Hadar, and Federation violence. One visited upon each other. A lot of melee combat goes on. No Jem'Hadar or Klingon are throwing people across rooms. They're not. That's not the physical. They are not it's not a mega strength species. The closest mega strength species you have is a Vulcan, and they're restrained 90% of the time.
And even that is like the mega strength that Spock has or whatnot isn't on the level of
2-3 times the strength of a human. So it's not. We're not talking lifting cars
even
over their
Data.
heads.
I don't think could do that. And
Data
the
can.
One.
Data. You see Data tossing people across a room. Data's done that. He's done that. But Data
is a machine.
He's an android. Data's a machine. That's it. We're talking biological species, maybe gifted with mega strength. The closest thing we have, and if Brad was here, see, this is why we're missing Brad right now. Brad has the encyclopedic knowledge of all the species that I miss. I know a lot, but Brad knows more details about this stuff. There's probably mega strength species out there, but the closest one I can think of is a Vulcan, 2-3 times the strength of a human, and that's it. But it's at closest maybe bend a bar, lift a human up, this and that. I mean, yeah, you see Christopher Lloyd's Klingon lift somebody up in Star Trek 3, but the Klingons are that strong. They can lift a body, but they're strong.
Yeah, that's just lifting it straight up.
But there's no mega strength that you go boom and watch it fly. Retarded.
And anyway, that should be a problem. An instructor striking a student is not okay.
But it's done for comedy. It's done for comedy. This entire show is filled with bad comedy. And the whole orientation scene is just one bit of bad comedy after another. With
repeating jokes from Voyager. I don't know if you noticed this.
Brad reminded me of that before we got in before episode because he watched the clip, the tricorder. No, medical tricorder. I had forgotten that. Even though I've seen Voyager 10 times through, I'd forgotten the tricorder.
That's a small detail, but it's just bad jokes, like the energy field that Caleb walks through that cuts his hair and gives him a
no, that's the transporter. The transporter magically cuts your hair, puts you in clothes, and shaves you.
That's horrifying. That's editing who you are.
Yeah. Pixeler Kid. We may be watching the end of Kurtzman Trek. Now, these are 2 seasons, but here's what I believe. I believe this Starfleet Academy, we're dealing with a standard. They bought X amount of episodes. They bought 20 episodes and just cut the order in half so they could have 2 seasons. This thing didn't get watch in about 2 weeks. We're going to get the Starfleet Academy's been renewed for a 2nd season. No, it was already bought with the intent to make 2 seasons because they have the episode count. This thing likely doesn't get a season 3, which it may
Discovery
be
got 5, so
but that was
quality
a different.
Isn't a concern apparently.
That was a different. That was a different boss. Skydance wasn't in charge.
Oh, that's true.
New management. So I think Skydance got a hold of this. I think they have put the kibosh. Because remember, they wanted to make more JJ Trek. That fell through quickly, thank God. And now they're making a new show set entirely separate from everything else. We don't know what they're going to do. I have very weak belief it's going to be anything worth my time. But we'll get more of that later. We'll deal with that. But what we're reviewing now, and of course, we will be back for season 2. I'll say that now. We'll be back for season 2. This is low-hanging fruit for us. This is the end of Kirk's Trek, and we will happily be the pallbearers for this thing. And in a very undignified manner, we will throw this shit, not just 6 feet under, 12 feet under. If I could throw it into an abyss, I would. But I won't.
Kurtzman should be blacklisted from Hollywood, but he's too tight with JJ.
Here's the thing. No, they're on the outs. They're not really? Friends anymore. Yeah, I've heard they're not friends anymore. They don't get along anymore.
Good.
What I was gonna say though is
their own.
For Kurtzman, did you notice how bad the direction was in these episodes? A lot of shaky cam, a lot of bad angles, a little bit of lens flare, not a lot, just a little. He did learn something from Jar Jar, but it was terrible direction, horrible direction. You know what I think? I think that after Terry, I mean, you haven't seen it yet because you're working your way forward. After what Terry Matalas did with Picard season 3, you know that was eating at Kurtzman. How well Terry Matalas did that on all levels.
Oh, that's 100% why Legacy was canceled.
Oh yeah.
Legacy was Picard.
Legacy was not even canceled. Legacy never even got off the ground because Kurtzman is a petty bitch. He's a petty son of a bitch.
He just gave up on Picard after the first 2 seasons. They're like, oh, it's trash. Okay, I'll go do something I like Strange New Worlds.
I'm gonna go fuck off. I'm gonna leave Terry Matalas this much of a budget, and Terry Matalas they rebuilt the bridge of the D down to the grain of the wood at Tactical. That's how much Terry Matalas gave a damn about what he was doing.
That would be where all my budget goes at first.
He did. Most of the budget
went out the rest of the story after we get the D.
They rebuilt the D. It was great. It was fantastic. I can't wait till you watch that. I can't wait to talk about that. Anyway, all right, back to this garbage, though. So, orientation, we get introduced to Pacifist Klingon, who, is it just me or is his voice unusually modulated low?
Yes, I was thinking that. I don't remember the Klingons all have deep voices. Yes,
Michael Dorn could talk normally like that, and but no, it's weird. It's weird.
There's definitely a modulator on his voice, though.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't sound
deep.
Right.
It sounds robotic.
And his design, the design of this dude. What is this? That's not a Klingon.
There's so many piercings in this show. There's piercings in his forehead. There's chicks with actual nose rings,
septum piercings, all kinds of stuff. And his ridges are wrong. Why aren't his teeth ganked up? His upper teeth ganked up. He doesn't look like a Klingon. He's a purebred. Brad checked it last week. While this show is filled with hybrids, a lot of species are fucking and making hybrid half demon babies. He ain't a hybrid. He is a pure-blooded Klingon, and he looks like that, with dreadlocks, and his dreadlocks get cleaned up from the transporter, all kinds of stuff. It's not. That's not a Klingon. It's not a Klingon. It isn't. And
why did he get to keep his dreadlocks? They got cleaned up, yes, but why did he get to keep those? And Caleb had to shave almost everything.
Diversity. Because Caleb's diversity looked messy, and his dreadlocks must be maintained. I don't know. There's no answers to any of this. Just like there's no answers to Holly Hunter's character wearing glasses. The only answer is she's 422-year-old alien, and maybe retinacs don't work on her like we didn't work on Kirk. I don't know. I knew they wouldn't have an explanation for that. I knew they wouldn't. So then you meet everybody. You get reintroduced to Rob Picardo as the Doctor, which I said in my review, the Rob Picardo could still do the Doctor, but it's shallow. It lacks all the depth of the character work they did in Voyager for him. It's like he's just running road through it, just all autopilot. And we're not going to talk about what a disaster he is on social media right now. We're not going to talk about that. We'll save that for Sunday on Roundtable. But it's just sad to watch them. They recycle these jokes, and then you get I Ate My Com badge, who represents autism. It took me going through episode 2 to realize this fat chick represents autism, because autism for some reason needs to be represented. And Jed, how many times have you and I talked about autism is not a superpower?
It's fucking not. There are
No.
different types of autism, and many of them are super geniuses. People think Stephen Hawking was autistic.
No, he was crippled. Crippled by disease.
But yeah, they're putting disability up on a pedestal like it's a superpower in
Did
general.
you see the wheelchair? Did you see the dude in the wheelchair at one point?
Mm-hmm. They're proud of it. In fact, a lot of people make up disabilities to make themselves feel better in real life. And so, of course, the show is going to follow that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm retarded, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of my disability of being a retard, a boomer retard sometimes. Anyway, and we get introduced. Then we get introduced. The first half of this episode is introducing us to this we haven't mentioned it. This is a bloated cast.
It's massive, and there's no development for any of them. That's why I don't even like register the kids. I had to focus on Holly Hunter's terrible, immoral character to get through anything.
Yeah. No. Come back on the Daily Dive every Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern on my channel, and then maybe that's when you make me do shit. That's when you can make me do shit. You can't make. I'm not doing that now. No, I'm not doing that. Yeah. I mean, all right. We might as well. Captain Ake. We'll give her real name for a second. She's a horrible character, and Holly Hunter is just Holly Hunter in this.
Is she known for other stuff? Because I don't know who she is.
Oh, she's an Oscar winner. I mean, she's a legitimate actress. She was for decades. Now
what
just
happened to her face and her voice?
I don't know. Now she's slurring everything. I mean, she hasn't had that. She hasn't had that much plastic surgery. But I don't know. Holly Hunter is a good actress and has been in many good roles through the decades. But
she was in The Incredibles.
Well, she did the voice of Elastigirl, but she spoke normally in that one. She could speak normally still back then. Holly Hunter can't speak anymore for some reason, and she shouldn't be. And I'm gonna say this: call me chauvinist. I'm gonna get way worse before we're done with this episode. She should not be wearing anything sleeveless. Holly Hunter, cover up the guns. Don't show off the guns. They're not looking good. Anyway, no, she's mailing this in. She's just being Holly Hunter. There's no nuance to her character. There's no range to her character.
She always has the same expression, the same level of importance. Even when Paul Giamatti's about to destroy Starfleet Academy, and assumedly hundreds of children are on the line, these kids, she's just like, yeah, woof, and blows away his hologram. Like everything is a casual situation to her.
And she said, blow it out your ass too. Didn't she say that during that conversation?
She did. I wrote that down.
The language use in the cursing, that's one of the other things Brad is very, if he was here, I would let him go off for a good 5 minutes on this one.
It's the fucking future. They should have different.
We could say fucking. We could say shit. We can curse and cuss all we want because we live in the 21st century where when we get angry, it's our vernacular. That is not the vernacular of Star Trek.
It's not the fucking future, and this is supposed to be a utopia by the modern sense, not the classic sense of the term. But yeah, utopia. It's supposed to be something to aspire to, hope that we achieve. The Star Trek portrayed in Kurtzman Trek is a dystopia, a horrible universe that we wouldn't want to touch. It's a few weeks away from Warhammer 40K, I feel like.
Dude, that thing doesn't want to know Warhammer 40K. You don't want to know Warhammer 40K.
I want them to meet up and just see how bad it gets.
Dude,
They're just so dumb.
They are dumb. I mean, here's the thing. On this language stuff, all you got to do is go watch Voyage Home. Voyage Home. When they go back to San Francisco for the whales, Admiral Kirk doesn't know what cursing is. Spock's colorful metaphors. Double dumbass on you. They don't know that,
and they explain swearing in that movie.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, but that's the joke, and that's a very comedic movie. It's a very fun comedic movie. It's a very light Star Trek movie. Point is though, that right there, that is the example. There is no cursing in the future like that. It doesn't exist. Not in human tongue. I mean, Klingons will call you a patak and all that kind of shit because Klingons will curse at you, but that's Klingon
They have
behavior.
a different culture.
Different culture, yes. And they
they're
use
not going to swear
actual
with
creative.
human swearing.
Exactly.
They use Klingons.
Or Ferengi will insult you and say you don't have the lobes for this. You know, they have their insults, but it's clever.
Culturally appropriate.
Clever. Or Bones will at least call you a green-blooded inhuman. That's, again, inside humor, but it's using terminology of them. There is no reason for people to be calling each other bitch. There's no reason for Cable to go, oh, motherfucker. No reason for that.
I don't like Star Trek being rated R.
And that's Curse of Trek.
If it's going to be rated R, do it for like subject matter or maybe occasional violence. But even that, I don't think it should be something that everyone can participate in.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not as attuned to children as something like Star Wars is, but there's absolutely stuff to enjoy in classic Star Trek for children. It should be available to anyone.
All right, so let's hurry through the rest of the introduction. We get introduced to Admiral's daughter. Her real name is Genesis. I do know that, but I'm still going to call her Admiral's daughter. Who is, I'm misconfident. I am quirky. I am going to be glib, yet nice at the same time. And I know you want to F me, but sorry, boys, you got to wait 6 months. That's a line from episode 2. You got to wait 6 months before, and Jed, this is where, got to wait 6 months before you hook up.
Yes, modern vernacular.
Yeah,
young people talking about sex. Absolutely, what Star Trek should be about.
Yeah,
however, I do think she is the least insufferable of.
Well, she is competent. We'll give her that. She knows stuff, but that's because her in-world story is her dad's an admiral. Now, before somebody says, but Star Trek has sex. Yes, Gene Roddenberry was a freak. Gene Roddenberry wrote a lot of sex.
It doesn't show
into
the
this,
sex though.
But it's
implied.
It's campy and it's implied. It's not hookup culture. What we're talking about here with the show is they are pushing hookup culture and hookup terminology, which is
they'll be swapping partners throughout the
show. I didn't know there was going to be another girl introduced to the triangle until episode 2. I didn't look at all the promotional material, so I didn't see that that titless Betazoid Tooth was going to be part of this. I didn't see her.
No, in the trailers, they show her and Caleb banging. They actively show the sex scene.
I guess I didn't. I guess I tuned that out. I only watched one trailer once, and I think that was it. So sex is going to happen. Sex is going to happen, and it's going to be a love triangle between Admiral's daughter Caleb and Tooth, aka titless Betazoid. That poor girl, the pretty girl, but put on a dress that highlights your figure. That was an insulting dress for her to wear. It did not look good. It did not flatter her figure.
Hoping for a Betazoid wedding in the show.
They made fun of that, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They made fun of that. Yep. Anyway, well, we can teach you. We can teach you, Master Nightech. We can teach you. I can teach you all kinds of stuff. You want to watch good Star Trek? You know, I'll just go start watching TOS or TNG. Just watch it. You'll have a good time. You'll be fine. You know, I don't even teach you anything. Just watch it and you'll be fine. Anyway, we get introduced to Sam, who I just call Supremely Annoying Manatee, who is a photonic being.
From a photonic colony.
Yeah.
They specifically
I want to know.
There's a whole colony of holographic people.
I want to know how she is walking around without a mobile emitter. I mean, the Doctor, the Athena has holographic projectors everywhere because you see other holograms are appearing. So,
and it's out on the grounds at Starfleet as well with that one Asian hologram that tries to stop Caleb.
But how is Supremely Annoying Manatee? Is she been downloaded into the Athena? I'm sorry, uploaded. Has she been uploaded to the Athena? I don't know. But she's a horribly annoying character. Then you got Bitch, who is the rival of Caleb, who, for no reason whatsoever, picks a fight with pacifist Klingon. We get through all these things. God, we've been doing this for an hour already. We're not even halfway. We're barely halfway through the first episode. I hate it. I hate it when this happens. We just jumble over the place. All right. We need to remark Caleb's whole reason for existence is to find Mommy She-Hulk. That's his whole reason for existence. Got to find Mommy She-Hulk. and he'll break
Every
the rules to
decision
do
he
it.
makes is about that.
Exactly. And
He has no personality other than I want to find my mommy.
and as Brad would put it, Brad says he is a Gary Stu. He's given all these abilities and powers with no depth, no creation, and he's a failed alpha male. He's a failed attempt at creating an alpha male character. I mean, dude is fit. Dude, I'll give it. That dude is fit. Way fitter than I am. That's an in shape dude. For a guy, I gotta know. For a guy who's eating garbage and on the run, he's got a good deal of muscle mass, and he's been working out. For some dude who's constantly on the run and had parasites in his bowels. If he had parasites
He
in his
should have
bowels,
been adopted by Aki.
yeah, it would make
A
much
lot
more
more
sense.
stuff makes sense.
It doesn't his fitness level doesn't make sense. Oh no, I mean, dude is fit though. Dude is masculine, which we're gonna come back to when we talk about episode 2, which is why I'm bringing it up. So the Athena eventually leaves dock and they're heading to Earth to San Francisco. I hate that song.
Acted like that was a big thing. Like they were like, San Francisco's so magical, isn't it? Don't we love San Francisco? And then they play a song, San Francisco, when they arrive.
A terrible
like,
song. A terrible song.
Is there some
well,
romanticism of San Francisco?
It's the original home of Starfleet Academy. That's it. That's where the original academy is, San Francisco. That's where Starfleet headquarters is. Original Starfleet headquarters was in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it. There's nothing else special.
It's just weird to me how much they were romanticizing San Francisco specifically. Romanticize Earth.
So while they're on the way to Earth, Caleb tries to use a special code with his mom to find it, which alerts Paul Giamatti to where they are. And like morons, the Athena goes to investigate the signal because, hey, could be a teaching moment. I hate the phrases they use for that shit. I hate that so much. And then all goes.
You're putting children in danger. They're
everything goes to hell.
Cadets.
And during this stuff, we remark the fact that Holly Hunter shows no respect as a captain. She's curled up in her captain's chair reading a book, literally curled up. Because Holly Hunter's tiny.
When you're in that chair, you're on fucking duty. That's why there's a ready room right there for captains.
Yeah.
You go do your reading in there.
I don't think there's a ready room on that. I don't think there's a ready room on the Athena. I don't think there is. I love
the ready room.
Oh, yeah. So, no. So she's literally curled up in the chair reading a book, which as we talked about, this Kurtzman trick is known for complete lack of discipline in its Starfleet officers. There's no discipline. Then you get the bridge crew, who we don't care. We'll make fun of Becky Lynch being there too. And it's all terrible. It's all terrible. It's all terrible. Well, Hema, you don't have to watch it. We watch it for you. That's the deal. We watch this shit so you don't have to, and we make fun of it. We watch this. That's what we do. We watch this shit so you guys don't have to. Anyway, so they come under attack, and everything goes to hell with the programmable matter bullshit that covers the Athena. But of course, Caleb can figure it out. And here's what really...
The programmable matter can bypass deflector shields like they're not even there. Apparently. And these are scavengers. Paul Giamatti isn't put up as a new threat on the.
They in the second episode they say that this Venari or whatever the hell they're called, they threaten everybody. They're a threat to they're a threat to Beta Z, and the Beta Z Systems Alliance and that shit. The only thing keeping that is the psionic wall. God,
we'll get there.
So here's what I hate about this whole thing now. When they're all when everything goes to shit on the Athena. The bridge crew is helpless. They're helpless. They can't do anything.
Just hang out the rest of the episode. And there's no other officers anywhere else. As soon as that strike happens, when the Athena's damage, the programmable matter shows up, we only ever see bridge crew, the doctor, and then students. And the students do everything. Where's the rest of the support staff? This is an actual ship, not just a school.
Everything is... I guess they were already in San Francisco waiting for the Athena. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, and I don't believe this one bit. The doctor says there were no casualties.
I don't believe that either. I do not believe that either. That's bullshit. That is horseshit. We saw people get knocked the fuck around in those explosions.
There were explosions, yeah. And at the end, if nothing else, they blew up the enemy ship. Caleb is actively responsible for death. and I think that there
Shrugs
were
it
deaths
off.
aboard the Athena as well.
There
He
had to be.
shrugs it off. Holly Hunter shrugs it off. He gets community service for leading to the deaths of dozens of people.
Yeah, he gets a hand on slap, and they just make
all it is an accident.
Jed,
but
his punishment,
it's poor judgment and hacking.
His punishment is being made fun of by the other students. That's punishment. Being made fun of. Anyway, so we go through this whole thing of the students saving the day, which is absurd. It's absurd. I don't buy it. I don't like it. I don't buy it. You get it.
Programmable matter just has a serial number. If you have the serial number, you can tell it what to do. Oh, let me just go look at it real quick to get its serial number.
I can hear the tone, and you have to show that supremely annoying manatees that she can interact with stuff, and she's got data-like speed when it comes to programming. She got data-like speed programming shit. Super speed there. She can do real fast. And then everybody has to come together.
Turning on the lights doesn't make any sense because those aren't actual lights that she turns on. She just makes the walls glow.
It's retarded. It does. They do it for just visual. Ooh, that's all it's there for.
Isn't it pretty?
It's all there for. Right. We just hustle to the end of the episode. Everybody wins. The character relationships are beginning. The rivalries, the love interest, this and that, the friendships. The doctor is not the doctor really anymore. And we see that the bridge crew is gone. They're gone in episode 2. They're gone. I guess that was all they're there for. I don't know. Maybe they'll be back when we take off again later. Then we get to Earth, and we get Caleb's punishment, which is 90 days locked on campus and 100 hours community service.
And Holly Hunter specifically says, I talked them down to that punishment.
Yeah.
So she was trying to get him off scot-free for leading to the death of so many people. Because, I fundamentally will not accept that nobody died.
I agree. I'm right there with you. And then we roll on literally, I think, to the next day. I think it's literally the next day where everybody's getting acclimated. You got science class with the mucus, which is only introduced for a sight gag joke. That's all it's there for.
That's the whole reason.
But
there are very important things introduced there.
Okay.
They get their bunks. When did they get their bunks? Is that in episode 2?
Yeah. Where were they sleeping before then?
That's what I was about to say, because the Athena is the main building. So on their trip to San Francisco, where was everyone sleeping?
Couches.
Just assign their bunks day 1. But is the goo class the first thing in episode 2 that we want to talk about?
Yeah, it's the first thing. Yeah, well, it was the first thing we see.
So we talked about it already. The qualifications to get into Starfleet are abysmally low at this point. It's just pass a test and you're in. One smart person test, and that's it. The doctor specifically says you get a C if your goo gets out and gets on your skin. Well, what's an F, sir? If you die.
Yeah, if you die.
There's no way to and that's done as a joke, but that actively means there is no way to fail his class, which implies it's a diploma factory. You show up, you graduate.
That's modern American universities. A lot of universities, not all of them, but a lot of them, you can't fail. Some of them don't even have a grading system. It's ridiculous.
It disproportionately affects different students from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
If you actually graded it properly, the TISM person might not pass.
And TISM, and my combat's TISM, I call her Fat TISM during my reviews. She is obnoxious too already when we see her. I mean, when the Athena was breaking down and under attack, she's walking around going, "Red alert! Red alert!" It's not something to be held up. I mean, I saw somebody in the chat a little bit ago says they're autistic. They don't want to see this shit going on. They don't need to see themselves.
This is an offensive portrayal of autism.
Yeah. So we get reintroduction to everybody. We get more flirting between Admiral's daughter and Caleb, and then we learn that Caleb's roommate is bitch. It's all, and everything's leading up to the Betazoids are coming. But during Holly Hunter gives this speech about democracy, and all I hear is the political stuff beginning with this. All I hear is that. But during that speech, she's talking about, and I did screen cap this. Occasionally, I will save something for a screen cap because I missed it during the review, and I didn't catch it till I was done with my review. And I decided to save for this. You know all the names you see. She says, "One day you will join the ranks of these names on here," and you could see all types of names. Now, I'm going to show you the wall, but I've screen capped the moment. or a particular name. Now, of all the names on there, and you can see because at one point on there you see Admiral Harry Kim, and of course, if you know Voyager, the joke is that Harry Kim, the Eternal Ensign. They know what your highest rank was, what you reached on that wall if you're famous. Is that fair, Jed? All those names,
assumedly.
So what is wrong here? Look in the lower left-hand corner. What does that say right there, Jed?
I can't see it.
Oh, okay, all right. It says Admiral James T. Kirk. Well, when Captain Kirk unfortunately dies in Generations, thank you. I try to block that movie out. When he dies in Generations, Jed, he's captain. When he disappears off the Enterprise B, he's captain.
And is Scotty a captain?
Yes, Scotty was a captain.
Okay.
Scotty was a captain. When he appeared in TNG, he had the rank of Captain Scott. He was Captain Scott in TNG, in the Geordi episode with TNG, in the Dyson Sphere episode. I love the Dyson Sphere episode.
I can bet that the Starfleet retroactively gave
posthumously
Admiral. Posthumously, I could see it. I could honestly see it because he had been Admiral.
I call bullshit. He was Captain Kirk when he died. Yeah, posthumously.
It says Lieutenant Junior Grade Wesley Crusher.
Yeah, Wesley died at one point. It's fine.
Admiral Beverly Crusher.
Beverly is an admiral. She was an admiral in Picard season 3. Beverly made it there. But point is just because here's the thing. And here, I can tell you they didn't posthumously because when Picard and everybody's talking about it in Generations, they call him Captain Kirk. He was not posthumously raised to rank. I mean, some things when you die, you do get posthumously promoted, stuff like that, a grade or two in some militaries, but not here. Yeah, my boy Nog. Oh man, I can't. We have to see.
He had trouble getting into the Starfleet Academy too, didn't he?
Well, yeah. Well, we're about in that point.
I mean, it was an ordeal.
It was a big deal because what Ferengi ever went. It's the first Klingon situation, first Ferengi situation, and ooh shit, I gotta warn. Oh shit, I gotta warn Brad. We told Hitman and Fracture they could watch it. This is if they see that, that's gonna fuck things up. Oh shit. I mean,
if they notice it.
Listen, look, Hitman's got a little bit of the noticeable tism. He can notice things. Shit.
He has a noticeable tism.
Oh fuck. See, all right. For those who don't know, for our show Wormhole Watch, our other panelists, Hitman and Fracture, they're not allowed to watch this. They're not allowed. They're watching DS9 for the first time. They don't know Nog's story. Brad and I have kept it very hidden from them. That's a spoiler right there. Shit. Oh, we told them they could watch these first 2 episodes. We told them they could because we're going to DS9 spoilers. Shit. See, look right there.
I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
Look, it says Lieutenant Tasha Yar. They didn't give her a posthumous upgrade. So point is, Admiral James C. Kirk. This goes to the on-running thing, though. This is something we're going to talk about forever with this. These idiots don't know Star Trek. The people writing this, they don't know anything. They know nothing. They would just assume, oh, Kirk must have been an admiral because Picard was an admiral at the end of his career. So Kirk must have been an admiral. Yes, Kirk was an admiral until he got demoted after the events of the Genesis trilogy of the motion picture, Wrath of Khan. Wrath of Khan.
I think a demotion was kind of fair in that situation.
He stole the Enterprise.
It's pretty bad.
They sabotaged the Excelsior.
Yeah, those are pretty bad offenses. I mean, yes, they do save a life and everything like that. So it was leniency.
By saving the Federation and saving history by bringing back the humpback whales, that was extenuating circumstances, but demoted. But as Spock said,
I think the demotion is 100% fair.
Yeah, but as Spock said, your one best destiny is captaining a starship.
Oh yeah, it was secretly a reward.
Yeah, it was secretly. Yeah. So, so I just wanted to point that out. That I hated that. That.
Yeah, did you see Barkley on there?
No, I didn't. Barkley was on there?
No, I don't know.
Oh no, I didn't.
Legatus is asking.
Oh, I don't know. We don't see.
I love Barkley. He has a great arc. Character.
Great arc in Voyager. He's one of the good things about Voyager. They give Barkley more to do. They turn him into less of a skeezer, less of a creeper. Anyway,
have they set up any character arcs with anyone in this show so far? Because
outside
I
of
think boy who wants to find his mom finds his mom. I think that's going to be the extent of his arc. Assuming, I think that's what his arc's going to be. Holly Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh,
she has a arc. She has.
Yeah,
I'm guilty.
just,
That's her arc.
existing.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
I don't think anyone else is gonna. Maybe the douchebag, the fish boy.
I don't know. I don't know. They have 8. They have 8 episodes left to work with.
Because no, I just mean they haven't started anything yet.
But we're 2 episodes in, and nobody has arcs. Except I want to F.
I don't feel like I know these people. They've got a single character trait that's been blown into a character trait.
All right. Encounter at Farpoint. By the end of Encounter at Farpoint, you knew most of them. You didn't know, a little. You get a little. You don't get more Worf until the season rolls on, but you are already hip deep in Picard, Riker, Data, Tasha, Deanna. You're already you feel these people. You get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know there are relationships because they're adults. They're freaking adults. Here's the problem when you do this stuff. When you do stuff with kids like this, there's only so many stories you can tell when you're dealing with young people, because they don't have the life experience to tell fully flushed out stories. They don't. And that's why Jed feels a disconnect. I feel a disconnect. Brad's going to feel a disconnect. These people are too young to have anything. And you can't have a high stakes story in school. Because look at episode 2 here, Jed. Nothing fucking happens for 48 minutes.
That's why they made the Starfleet Academy into a ship, so they can go fly into danger.
Recklessly.
Absolutely.
All right, so
I bet you that was a prerequisite on the show getting approved, is make it into a ship
during the
so
period of time, during the period when they were making this shit, during the previous administration at Paramount. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
make it more exciting.
Episode 2, the Betazoids are coming. It's all about agenda. This thing is just got so agenda mixed up with it, because away.
Before we get to the
I'm going to the science class. I'm going to science class.
Okay.
Going to quantum mechanics, quantum and entropy. So this is the scene that a lot of people have locked onto before seeing it, because they got a preview of it, but actually watching it, it's even worse. Because it's not just lesbian Tig Notaro, non-binary lesbian Tig Notaro, a failed comedienne who's not she's not funny. Not funny.
God, no.
It's not just about her being not funny. And I will see it one way, and I'm sure I missed some things. Jay, you're going to drop things. If Brad was here, he would drop some more stuff in here. This whole thing is about, it's not about quantum mechanics. It's not about entropy. It's about gender and emasculation. That's what this whole scene is about. It's about letting you know subtly that she's gay. She should be considered a man if she feels like it. And she's old and wise and a bitch. And when Caleb does his Caleb thing and sows disrespect to authority, which, why should he respect authority when Captain Holly Hunter's running around barefoot all the goddamn time?
And letting him get away with stuff.
Get away with shit too, yeah. He shows disrespect, and then Tig Notaro, she makes a complete focus on emasculating him. And I say that because, as I said earlier, the guy who plays Caleb, this is a big masculine dude. Say what you will, make fun of the character you want. This is a big masculine guy. And have you noticed with the direction, they're making you see how big he is compared to a lot of people? Have you noticed those shots, how tall he is and big compared to this and that? A lot of silhouette shots. This is a big dude. This dude's at least 6'3", 6'4". This is a big dude. Yeah.
Or his entire castmates are short as shit.
Yeah. Well, the women are all short. Holly Hunter is 5 foot nothing. She's 5 foot nothing.
That 90 shot pounds of when they met each other in the prison at the beginning of episode 1, where he's just towering over her. I was surprised by that.
And all the other girls, they're all tiny compared to him. And all the other dudes are of his height. These are all large dudes in this, of the main cast.
Besides Gym Teacher.
This isn't getting that. Anyway, she makes it a point that this whole thing is about a non-binary lesbian emasculating a big physical man. Jed, am I wrong?
No, you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
What she did is entirely inappropriate. Yes, he's on his device, but this is what, day 2 of Starfleet Academy, and they haven't been taught how to do anything yet. They're not being shown how to respect authority. They're not shown how to sit, how to behave in situations like this. I went through basic training. They taught you this shit immediately. As soon as you're getting off the bus, they told us how to sit.
They break you down before they rebuild you.
Yes, absolutely. This is just, oh, you're not doing what I want you to do. Stand up. You a bitch, ain't you? And that's not how military does it. And classroom settings in the military are different from in the field setting. So we had classes at basic training where we learned procedure and stuff like that, the Uniform Code of Military Justice, all of that. And when we were in that room, the instructors behaved differently than our drill sergeants. It wasn't about making people it's like, you're here to learn, you shut up and pay attention. They don't stop all of class to make a demonstration.
Yeah.
They have limited amount of time to give you a lot of information. So they focus on that information. They don't make you the center point of instruction for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time.
So, but she does that to humiliate him.
It's inappropriate how she does
it. And her excuse, I don't make sense because I time traveled and I consider myself a man, not a woman. And now, Kurtzman Trek, I mean, listen, Star Trek is really messy with its time travel. We can admit that. It's really messy at times. Kirk, the man was a menace. It's a good joke from DS9. But Kurtzman Trek has taken the breaking of time travel even further. It just happens all the time. Happens all the time.
That's why you don't have to worry about canon, because we time travel so much that canon doesn't mean anything.
You know, Kurtzman Trek has forgotten about the temporal agency that fixes this shit. There are temporal time cops out there in Star Trek that fix this shit.
When were they established?
DS9. They exist, and then in Voyager, reaffirmed in Voyager.
I think I remember who you're talking about.
Oh, it's the Tribble episode. The Tribble episode. That is season 6. That is DS9 at its best. The Tribble episode. Also the technology of blending. That was a
phenomenal.
That was such a masterclass of special effects where they blended the current cast with the original cast and upscaled. That was the first time I think they upscaled a TOS episode. And that's glorious. It's like they were right there,
I think that episode's better than the TOS original.
Oh, it is. It is. I will say that it is, because it's fun, because you got all this stuff going on. And then the end, I love the end of the episode where they look at Sisko and they go, "Did you do anything else to alter the timeline?" "No, I didn't." And then it cuts to Sisko getting Kirk's signature. My man.
I would have done that too. It's
of
James
course,
fucking T. Kirk.
In the captain's casual the entire episode too. And Trouble. He's basically the captain's casual the entire episode. Anyway, see, we're having fun here. We can't be having fun. We got to get back to this.
Oh, and the Klingon joke. Hey, are those really Klingons?
We don't talk about that. We talk about it. We know about it. No. I love it. I love it. Okay.
We had a much better time in the last 2 minutes talking about fucking tribbles.
So you can talk about the good stuff. We're fine. We're happy. But now back to reality. But of course, everything is building up. And of course, during this, the joke set up to have the mucus get all over Caleb so he can get sprayed like a clown with foam. That was my thumbnail.
And everybody laughs. He's the butt of so many jokes. Just like you're talking about dressing him down or being masculine is what it feels like. And yeah, just that entire physics class. You're teaching physics, not gender studies for kindergartners or how to make friends for kindergartners.
Yeah.
Quantum entanglement is what connects us.
Oh, shut up. And
of course, the magic of physics is friendship.
And don't go all Pokemon on me, please. That's my running gag with Pokemon. People know, let's be friends. I'm not dissing Pokemon, but every Pokemon guy I know agrees that is the gag, and it's true. And of course, you got Supremely Annoying Manatee going, "Yay, I'm happy to be here. Yay." All that kind of crap. It's just dumb. And then Caleb runs off, and we know the Betazoids have arrived, and Oh, he meets his love interest. What do you call her?
Princess Mulvaney.
Okay, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Because she's got the thing in her tooth, I call her Tooth. But right away, I thought, because he's deciding whether or not he's going to run away again, as he flips out a holographic nurse. It's the same nurse that sprayed him with.
I don't believe it would be that easy to wig out a
It took
computer.
way long for secure. To wig out. I was just saying, I think it was big security to get there.
Well, security get there because they have personal transports now.
But they didn't. It took them 10 minutes to get him. But to wig out,
asking for coffee orders. We saw how advanced the doctor was 9 centuries earlier.
It's a sad way of showing how to put something into a loop, how to put a program into a feedback loop, and it was just dumb. They just wanted
there are protections against loops like that in modern computers, let alone futuristic computers.
Yeah. So it's dumb, but it's also Caleb can meet his next love interest, the one that he's instantly into. And right away you realize she's Betazoid. Right away, she's like, I feel this, I feel that. And she's wearing an inhibitor.
Oh, if you have seen the trailer, there's a scene where they're in basically a poppy field from Wizard of Oz. Ship's landed, and it's her and Caleb down there. She's screaming, and it's sending physical shockwaves through the poppies.
All right. Let's get to it. All right, let's jump to it. This is the biggest sin of episode 2, in my opinion, the Betazoids. So the Betazoids are coming because the Betazoids have managed to maintain a legitimate, cutout of civilization in the Alpha Quadrant, because they put up a psionic wall around their systems. All right, Jed, what is space?
Yeah, well, it's massive and it's in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, and there's no up or down. It's whatever way you come at it. If they had said we put up a psionic cube around our system, fine. Said we or just a planetary shield, a psionic shield around Beta Z. I can buy that because a planet is a fixed thing in space. It's an object floating in space. Or if you designate an area around it, you could say, okay, with using a specified up and down, we're cubing this off. But just a wall.
And you said that they mentioned multiple sectors, not just
one? There were multiple systems that were a part of the Beta Z Alliance.
Star systems don't move uniformly.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's going to take a ridiculous amount of time to see any difference. Right. But these shields, we're talking light years across. Like nothing we've seen anyone besides Q do.
And Q's a god. The Q are gods.
And psionic wall shouldn't stop subspace or physical ships.
But at the same time, a psionic wall, Betazoids, they're telepathic and empathic. That's it. Now, they can get in your head and fuck with you, but they don't have psionic telekinesis. They don't have that. We're not there yet, Joxer. We're not there yet. No, they don't have this ability. They do not have the ability to, like Vulcans once upon a time did. Vulcans once upon a time had psionic powers. They learned to control it and basically semi-breed it out because they realized it made them too warlike. But they can't. It doesn't work like that. Betazoids cannot put up a psionic. And then if you think about it, like we said, this is space. A wall.
I doubt they even thought about that.
No,
because I'm sure if we were asked, they'd say, "Oh, we mean a bubble when we say a wall."
No,
it's just
they're calling it a wall. They thought it through, but for the wrong reasons. It's called a wall because the Betazoids and President Betazoid Daddy, who's the father of Tooth, it's all a metaphor, allegory, whatever you want to call it, for Trump and the border wall. It's all and for old-fashioned hatred for things that aren't like you and not changing. It's all metaphor for Trump and his administration.
There are a ton of references to immigration, like I talked about Dreamers in episode 1 with there's no justification to separate mothers from children. That seems to be the central focus besides just general diversity, political talking points. they really want you to think about immigration. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's direct ice references.
Well, there's so much diversity because I forgot to mention, go back in time, during Holly Hunter's democracy speech, did you spot the chick with the color-coded hijab? Now, religion exists in Star Trek. There are many episodes where the classic religions, Christianity, Judaism, Judeo-Christian stuff, it still exists, and people still follow it and hold on to it for spiritual purposes. It was done with respect in TOS, TNG, and DS9. And DS9 is all about faith with Bajorans and the prophets. It's all about faith. Religion is not an unusual concept in Star Trek, but why is she wearing a fucking hijab? It's just, look, diversity. That's all it is. It's all it is. It's all it is.
We used to have such great social commentary. Because there was a black and white person in this episode.
The Charon, who are
one of the best references.
There are only two left, and they're both men back in TOS. There's a female Charon should not exist.
Yeah, men can't have babies with other men, and they can't even use the Kelvin timeline or whatever to correct that because they specifically said
this is not Kelvin timeline. Yeah.
Well, that and those two guys that we're talking about, the Charons. Their planet had been destroyed, and it'd been centuries since they went home and visited. So the destruction of their homeworld and their species happened long.
And then Kirk let them fight it out. He left them. Kirk didn't.
But that episode is an incredible episode about racism because that's what it is about.
Oh yes,
and it's done so well.
Yeah,
and it's more about these divides don't matter. That was the point. It wasn't vote this way or oh you like Trump or anything like that. It was just. Maybe these divides don't matter as much.
That's what Star Trek for 40 years prior to now, because now we're in the 60th year. I'm not counting the last decade. Prior to now, it told you these stories. It laid out all the sides and left it to the audience to discuss. It didn't beat you over the head.
Poses.
Yeah.
It poses the situation and allows you to interpret it. And
another
great example of racism being addressed is one of my favorite things about TOS. When Uhura meets the fake Abraham Lincoln, when he uses the word negress.
Yeah.
He's like, is that okay to use? I don't know what the politically correct term. That is kind of funny to hear Lincoln talk about politically correct terms. But Uhura goes, it's just a word. Why would I be offended by words?
Yeah. It's the evolution of society, which is what Star Trek always did that. I mean, if you go to First Contact, Picard gives the speech, we've evolved beyond this, and that, and that. And now that's also a different storyline going on there where he's fighting his base urges to just murder every Borg he sees. But
Starfleet should be better than us. The Federation should be better than us. It's a future that
it's the best of us.
To be.
It's the best of us.
Yeah. The problems that they face socially should not be the same that we face.
Yeah.
When they come across situations where people are dealing with socially relevant topics, it's usually with an alien race that they're interacting with. The Federation's moved past it.
Yeah. Bringing this up, I mean, the when Sarek was sick, that's the psychic leak. There was some psychic leak, but it's still
it wasn't telekinesis leak.
Yeah,
it's emotions. Waves of emotions.
Yeah, it's not that's because at that point the Vulcans have changed their psychic nature, which there's a whole episode about
the sci-fi word for the Betazoids, psionic wall.
Yeah, so because they don't understand this, it goes back. They don't understand that that's not how it works. And then of course the 20 and I should have realized this. We already talked about it. I should have realized my review. They changed the eyes for the 25% difference, so they have to pay people.
Probably
because Betazoids don't have irises and pupils; they have completely dark eyes next to the inside the white. That's it. I mean, they managed to do it with Deanna for 7 seasons and 4 movies. They managed to do it in a couple more, a little more with Picard, season 3. They managed to do it every time we throw another Betazoid someplace. Loxana they still have Loxana in DS9. Oh, we can't do it for these people. But everything with the Betazoids is all about Trump. And it's not even remotely hidden. They even have Stephen Colbert fucking voicing shit in this.
He's in both episodes, yeah. I think he's in all of them.
Ugh.
He's credited with all 8 on IMDb, but sometimes
8? I thought we got 10 episodes.
It said 8
8?
that he's credited in, so he might not be in all of them. Let me
I
double
thought
check.
we had 10 episodes of this. I thought we have another 8 episodes to go. If we only have 8, well, great. We're in jail less time than I thought. But anyway, while G's doing that, so the Betazoids arrive, and it's all about isolationism this, isolationism that. Once again, the metaphors are very clear. And here's the most big problem. They have forgotten that Betazoids are telepathic and communicate, and Betazoids communicate with each other exclusively in the head, because when Lwaxana Troi visits the Enterprise D for the first time, she chastises Deanna for talking out loud and has to say, "Oh, I haven't spoken out loud for so long. I'm not used to it. Excuse me." They communicate mentally, but here, because President Betazoid Trump is deaf, they're all signing
to each other. If he were deaf and he just signed to other people outside of the Betazoid culture, that's one thing.
But he has the device that is vocally expressing his thoughts. Why are they why is he signing? And the people.
The device looks at his hands and says
he said a word later on without signing. I caught it. He says something later on when he doesn't sign.
Well, he does say, "Yeah."
No, later, through the device. The device says a word and he didn't make a sign. I caught it at one point in the episode. Yeah. So this whole dumb. It's just, and then they had to have somebody signing to the cadets in the audience. And here's the thing. So what they've done here is Holly Hunter wanted the delegation to come to Starfleet Academy because of the youth activism crap. But here's a big problem with this. And this is something Brad wanted to bring up too that we talked about in private. So I'm bringing out something else Brad wanted to talk about here. Jed, if you were holding high-level diplomatic negotiations, would you do it in front of the entire student body of Starfleet Academy?
God, no.
No.
No. It is a good education, so do your senior class in the back of it or something like that. A select few older classmen out of the way in the negotiations. Maybe I could buy
somebody who wants to be in the diplomatic corps.
Yeah, but they specifically design it not just to have these kids present, but to be the target audience. The two pulpits where the delegates are facing exclusively the students. There's other people there, but they're all behind the delegate. It's performative. It's not a negotiation. Negotiations should be more private affairs, like what we saw with Picard in the in their boardroom or whatever they have on the Enterprise. That's where you have a conversation like that behind closed doors.
Yeah, you don't do that. That's not how it works. And it's so obnoxious when they capture Caleb and throw him back in there. It disrupts the whole thing.
Yeah, if you're late, you just don't go. They're like, all right, we'll keep you here.
And then there's the other problem with the War College. That's a big problem for me.
Why the fuck is there a War College? Because
they went more militaristic. It was always militaristic.
Starfleet was an elite fighting force. Yes, they were explorers first, but they held their own against the Klingons and the Romulans and the Borg on many separate occasions.
They are a navy. Starfleet is still a military organization. They say it many times throughout the classic series. Starfleet is a military organization.
There should be military discipline.
And there is in real Star Trek.
In real Star Trek. But yeah, I think Kurtzman heard all the criticism about it not being militaristic in Discovery and whatnot. So he's like, fine, I'll add in a different group. The Explorers.
But it doesn't make any sense to have a War College because we had to be tougher during the Burn era. Bullshit.
War College is just a dumb name, too.
Yeah. And also,
they'd be like, all right, we needed to form the equivalent of the Marines. If they did that would be fine.
But here's a problem. They didn't get the correct rankings. The dude who is the commandant of the War College, Admiral Odette Vare calls him commander, but he's got 4 pips on his collar. Now, if you're going to mimic the Marines or the Army or the Air Force and have it up against the Navy, because Starfleet is the Navy. Starfleet's the Navy. He's got to be a colonel. Opposed to Holly Hunter's captain. Captain is 4 pips. A colonel, if you're making that, would have 4 pips because a full board colonel is the equivalent of a captain. So you still don't get it right. It's all wrong. No comprehension. Whoever wrote this, no comprehension of anything. And the War College is there. And the War College is going to be important because that's where Tooth ends up. She doesn't go to the academy. She goes to the War College.
Which I don't understand that choice at all.
She's a diplomat.
She shouldn't be, going to a violent institution.
Because her inhibitor that she wears, we learn later, keeps her emotions up, because if she gets angry, if her emotions, her empathic abilities raise out of control, bad things happen, Jed.
And I don't believe that the president of Beta Z, or whatever they call him, I don't know what his official rank
president.
is.
President, daddy. Yeah, it's president. So, yeah.
I don't believe he would let both of his kids join the Federation's military arms that quickly.
Jed,
the next day.
The final solution to all of this, after a lot of bullshit where they go on dates, and yes, Josh mentioned it, they try to make us remember Admiral There Be Whales Here. They try to make us remember that shit. She wants to see the humpback whales. The final solution to all of this is to put the new capital of the Federation on Beta Z.
Which
Brad's
is
point,
a terrible idea.
Brad wanted to make the point, Beta Z was never that important. That is something Brad wanted me to mention. Beta Z is never that important.
I mean, they're useful,
they're
but
good
they're
diplomats.
Still small. They're not industrialized. Their technology is not enough to make a psionic wall. Like, they're not known for anything besides their telepathy.
Yeah.
They're not useful for anything besides their telepathy.
So, but in this one, they have dozens of planets and dozens of species behind them, and it opens up safe trade routes and safe things like that. So it's all ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. So, and it's all for the metaphor and the lecturing and all this kind of bullshit. Youth activism
I just
and all
want
crap.
to pose this the situation, going to the logical conclusion.
Okay.
So, like you said, this is a metaphor for Trump and the southern border and immigration, all that, right?
Yeah.
So, let's say America was as isolationist as Beta Z, majorly isolationist in that there's
World War I level isolationist.
Yeah,
pre-World War I level
communication in and out. There's no immigration, legal or illegal. It's just 100% cut off. Let's say Trump is the president of that fictionalized America that they think actually exists. We'll say that. Do you think the UN, which has united the rest of the planet into an actual world government, not just whatever the UN is right now, comes to Trump and says, hey, let's be friends again? Nah, man, I don't really like how you're governing the rest of the world. Hey, what if we move our headquarters into your country and you obey us? Would that make an isolationist country lower their borders?
Probably not.
They're straight up said, hey, you don't like us? Let's occupy you, and you'll like that. And he straight up immediately is like, doesn't need to hear terms, doesn't need to hear anything else, just
yeah.
So
and just real quick,
they don't understand what isolationist means.
Victor, we all do. That's why we're here tonight. That's why we're here. And my half of that is what I see is the Betazoids are not even original founding members of the Federation. Humans, Andorians, Vulcans. I always forget the Mr. Mott's race. I forget. It's one of those. I have a mental block. I can never remember the name of that species. But they're not a founding member. I can understand maybe putting the new capital on a founding member species, but what Beta Z is not that important. It's not.
I could totally see Vulcan if it weren't for their ecological and geological upheaval. Like, it's very volcanic as a planet, but culturally, Vulcans are the closest thing to Switzerland in the Federation. You want a neutral site for the home of your international or interspecies union.
But Earth is Sector 001. It is the center and the Federation comes about because humans get involved, and that's why it's on Earth. It should be on Earth. What are you going to move? What are we going to move the Athena campus over to Beta Z now? Going to move Starfleet Do we have to move Starfleet headquarters to Beta Z?
Probably.
From a logistics point, none of this makes sense. It's just retarded. And of course, during all of this,
Earth being Sector 00, though, that's an arbitrary decision.
Well, they make it
drawing lines on a map. They make it the center, but it's not functionally in the galaxy.
No, it isn't.
The outer rim. We do like Tatooine.
But it makes it the center of the Federation. It is the breathing heart, the pumping heart of the Federation. And that's it for that. Now, during this shit, we get Caleb stuff. He finds out where his mom has been. There's friction, emotional friction between him and new girlfriend, because she allowed him to get information. There's a lot of bull crap going on. I got into my review. We're not going to get into that here because we have been going for almost 2 hours now, and our brains are starting to bleed out our ears. Even though you guys are clearly having fun, you guys are hanging out, hitting that like button, talking it up in the chat. And we love you for doing that. But this whole episode was just about lecturing. I mean, one point during the delegation point, they so focusing on Tig Notaro and Gym Teacher, and Tig Notaro goes, "I don't care if this dude and listen, I say dude because I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. It's part of my lexicon because I'm from this time period." She's from 2200. She ain't gonna say dude, but she's Tig Notaro. She's edgy and funny. No, she's not. She's dude. I don't care what this dude's saying. And then Gym Teacher goes, "We should have our best warriors fight and winner take all." And she goes, "Dude, what's the matter with you? Really, what's wrong with you?" It's all terrible dialogue, and that's to me that's the second biggest sin. The lore breaks to me are the biggest sin. The second biggest sin of all this is how they talk to each other, how they behave, and by the end of it, you've got Caleb learning his lesson to accept help from other people. Oh, look, he's growing so quickly as a character. He's learning to trust now, and he's going to clean up his side of the room with Bitch. And they have a new roommate, Jed. Tooth's little brother, who says bro every third word. Bro.
He's going to get annoying.
Bro. Now, during this, Bitch and Caleb start to suddenly get along because Bitch realizes, oh, he's trying to change. I'm going to help him make his bed. The rivalry's ending so quickly, but I guess, did you look it up how many episodes we got? Is it 8 or 10?
It's 10. It's
10. Okay, with only 8 episodes to go, I guess they don't have a lot of time because you had to speed through that rivalry really quick. And little bro walks over and says, "Bro's making a bed together. That's so bro." I know I'm hyperbolicing this, but that's essentially what he says. And then it fades to black and he goes, "Let's make a fort." Because now
it last at real Starfleet. And you notice they didn't have to take any tests. They were just children of diplomats, so they got pencil whipped through.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got UN'd in, baby. You got UN'd in. And so Caleb's got he's got communication access to reach out to his mom. She's out there. She escaped the gang planet she was on. That Paul Giamatti that happened behind Sonic Wall. Paul Giamatti hinted at. And here we go forward. Now, I don't know what next week's episode is going to be. I don't look ahead to this stuff. I need to be surprised when I get there. But overall, Jed, this entire series, it's a clown show. It's a disrespectful clown show. Who cares more about bad comedy and quips than telling a deep story?
And Star Trek should be an intelligent show. And something we talk about all the time is a show or a written work is only as intelligent as its creator. It's very clear that the people writing the show have the intellectual capacity of a fucking teaspoon.
Nothing.
This isn't what this show should be. This isn't what this universe should be. It's
I know.
A caricature of itself, and it's not even good. It's not going in a different direction that we don't like. It just doesn't have quality. Nothing makes sense. Like the last thing I wanted to talk about was in that whole Caleb Princess Mulvaney romance arc. So this is what day 2, like he said, of being at Starfleet Academy, or roughly, very early on.
Essentially, we're in that first week
for his mom.
Yeah,
and the Beta Zeds happen to show up. All right, well, integrate them, whatever. And Caleb happens to catch the eye of the princess, who happens to ask for him to be the tour guide. And then he trades that in exchange for access to the Star Cartography lab. When he goes there with Princess Mulvaney,
takes her on a date there. Takes her on the date
for his 1 hour to go there. She happens to have a magic bracelet that downloads all of Beta Zed's star charts into the Athenas.
Yeah, and it gives him that bracelet later. She gives him the bracelet, or bro gives it to him,
which is the equivalent of a comm badge. She just gave him top level access to everything Beta Z. But just so happens that the planet that he's looking for all of 1 day is behind the psionic wall. So
coincidence.
It's just coincidence.
Yeah, you hate that the most. That's what you hate the most.
Fucking hate that. But that's bad enough. But later on, when they have their contrived couples fight, she's like, You were just using me from the beginning to find the planet behind
that
the
whole
wall.
explosion is such a manufactured fight.
It doesn't
terrible.
make any sense because
Yeah.
he didn't know the planet was behind the psionic wall. So yeah, maybe he was using her after that scene to get more information. But before that, he didn't know the planet was there. So how is he taking advantage of her to get that information?
And Jed, what is she using for? His dick. She wants to fuck him. She wants to have sex with him, just like Admiral's daughter wants to have sex with him. But because of her rules and her character design, she can't right now. So, and she did nothing in this episode except look longingly as he was more interested in another girl.
Well, none of the kids did anything in this episode. The Klingons still yet to do shit. Besides,
except
kind of a medic,
and admit that his mom was a single mom. And admit that, which maybe explain why he's a shitty Klingon, which is bullshit because female Klingons are as nasty as male Klingons they can be. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. All right, all right. So here we are.
The sisters of Duras do more damage than Duras does.
God, I mean Duras. They started the Civil War with the backings of the Ramis, and that's another story.
Speaking of them specifically, would you like a palate cleanser?
Boob window?
Not a boob window, but it's a meme, a TNG meme that I think you'll.
Yeah. I've seen. This is an old one. That's an old one. Yeah,
I've seen this one before as well, but I love it.
Listen, there is a meme out there. Gowron in all of 11 episodes across both TNG and DS9, but a face that launched 1,000 memes.
It's those eyes, man.
For the glory of the Empire. I've always loved Gowron. Gowron's a fantastic character. He's great. Anyway, so there we are. In next week's episode, we'll have Brad here, and he'll probably bring other points of view that Jed and I missed. That's why we like to have a 3-man panel. We might even have a guest or two. Other than that, a certain retard may appear because he wants to feel like what it's like to watch horrible something, even though he's not reviewing it. But we're gonna Jed. This is low hanging fruit for us. It really is. I mean, as painful as this is, I do love ripping it apart. This show deserves every bit of hate it's getting right now. And we didn't talk about it here. We didn't talk about it now, but we'll talk about it a little bit on Sunday, 3 p.m., a roundtable right back here on my channel. We'll talk about the stands and how they're behaving about this. They think this thing is great. And I saw one particular moron who I've recently come to discover on X. She's all about y'all just angry at gym teacher because she represents a black woman in power in Starfleet. Yeah.
Because Hora never existed. Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you everybody for being here. Jed, what's your week look like next week?
Well, everyone can find me Endless Frontiers on YouTube if you're over on Adam's side. For this week, just regularly scheduled live streams with this Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, the Right or Flight podcast. Got some more Artemis 2 news to talk about, and we'll see what other science and science fiction news comes out to talk about then. And then 7:30 p.m. also on Monday, Adam and I will be back. Are we dual streaming?
We should test it first. We should test it. We should
do
a private one to see if because I can load it up on mine. I can see if it's running laggy or not. So
perfect. And we'll be playing Jump Space together, co-op, split screen style, 7:30 p.m. on Monday. And then just whatever videos come up, gaming The Witcher 3, The Last Wish, whenever I get a chance. And then back around for Starfleet Academy. Episode 3, both a review, and then this live stream next Saturday.
Yes. And for those of you who might have come around here thinking, oh, this is a normal spot for where Jed and I do Saturday Night Drive-In, our usual weekly movie review show, that is being shifted to a recorded version. We will get that next one out to you guys as soon as possible. We're supposed to record it tomorrow. Looks like we'll be able to get that done. And then we'll set up a new schedule for the time being, because as long as Starfleet Academy is going, this panel show will replace Drive-In's time slot in our schedule. So you can check that out. It'll be released at the same time on both our channels and enjoy that. Other than that, here right now, tonight we're done for the night here. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, right back here for Roundtable. Myself, Jed, Dre, and whoever else decides to show up. We will be there, and we will be talking the week's events in our own special way. I've got a couple good discussion questions, which kind of relates to this. And I'll ask it now, Jed. You can think about it, chat. You can think about it too. Join in then. Has social media and the internet ruined fandoms? Has it ruined fandoms? Think about it. Think about it. Anyway,
it ruins society. So
yeah, different. I'm not going that far. I don't want to go that. That's a whole separate conversation. Anyway, other than that, every Monday through Friday on my channel here, the Renaissance Nerd, you can catch the Daily Dive, the Double Z's at 1 p.m. Eastern, where I basically sit down, I talk a little about what I see, but then you guys get to kind of steer the show. It's up to the chat what you want to listen to, whether we keep going or we end early. It's up to you guys. It's how it works. Other than that, we can get gaming streams. Currently working on Dragon Quest 1 HD 2D remake. I prepared for that one. We just beat DQ3. If you are a member of this channel, those videos as well as all other gaming streams have been archived in the member section. That we're talking dozens of hours of me being gaming stuff. It's good there. Go check that out. But we got a game stream for that next week. As Jed said, we got Jump Space Monday night. Also stream of Conscious later that night as well on Monday. And I'll be back next Thursday for another review of Starfleet Academy, where I'm sure I'll have equally and crazy meltdowns. And some of you are here for that. You enjoyed it. Thank you all for being here. We'll be back next week with Brad. You all have a good rest of your night. Take it easy. You know what? Live long and prosper, because real Star Trek. Oh, yes. I almost forgot. So you guys have 24 more hours to it. If you go to the post tab on my YouTube page, there's a poll running once a month, or at least we're trying to make it once a month again. It was original plan. Once a month, we got a special stream called Nerdgasm. Yes, it's called Nerdgasm, where we take one franchise and we just talk about it for the evening. Right now, the poll is running. You guys can choose one of four. One of them is Star Trek The Next Generation. It's winning by and large, but we still got 24 hours to go before I lock it down and set up the stream for next week. So go ahead and vote on that. You can influence it until basically the end of business day tomorrow, Sunday, on the East Coast, because we're East Coast people here. We live in the present. Anyway, so thank you, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate everybody showing up. We had a great crowd tonight, guys. Thank you for being here. We hope to see you next week. Go watch the reviews. Hit those like buttons. Leave comments. And as I said, live long and prosper. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Take it easy.